Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Good afternoon, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest stand-up of sports today. Let's take a look at what we're discussing. First of all, we inform you about the recently concluded 17th Chief of Naval Staff Golf Cup 2024 that was held at the Magla Greens Golf Club in Islamabad. A spectacular, fantastic event that featured more than 300 golfers who were participating in various categories, and it is of course always pertinent to mention that the number keeps on increasing with each passing year. So I think the level of participation, the enthusiasm, the excitement, all in all, a fantastic tournament came to a conclusion as well. And of course various categories were on display as well, which were being competed in. They included amateurs, seniors, ladies and juniors as well. So I mean, we do talk about the next generation of golfers for Pakistan, so they were also in contention as well. And of course this, in contention, this all in all, you can put it in a nutshell that this tournament's history goes back since 2007 as well, and of course considered as one of the finest competitions that also I think signifies Pakistan Navy's steadfast commitment to promoting sports, especially golf in Pakistan as well. So we'll be talking about this in detail, and also I think the scenic beauties of the Magla Greens golf course should also be celebrated at this moment as well. It is a very tricky one as well, but nonetheless I think if you're playing golf there, you're surely going to enjoy yourself. So we talk about that. Then of course in the second segment we move on to the Pakistan versus Australia one-day international series as well. The preparation for the second one day are going to be very important. There are reports that a spinner is being added as well, an all-rounder spinner, and fast bowlers might be given a bit of rest as well, just to recover in time as well. So we'll talk about that history as well between Pakistan and Australia. Then we move on, we talk about Saim Ayub. It's just been a sorry tale of disappointment. Fantastic talent, but of course this was an ODI debut for him as well. But he is in right now under the radar as well. A lot is being said about his career and everything that has been happening. And then of course we move on to the absence of Fakhar Zaman. How much has it really damaged Pakistan cricket at this moment, especially considering that he's an impact player who could have done wonders in Australia. So we'll talk about that and the next future that is there for Fakhar Zaman as well. So we'll talk about that as well. But like I said, we'll be starting off with golf and the 17th CNS Golf Cup 2024 as well. To talk more on this, we've been joined in studios by the Secretary of the Magla Greens Golf Club, Commodore retired Majid Sati Saab. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
You are Islam. I'm good. How are you?
Sir, I'm very well. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to see you again. But sir, first of all, congratulations. A fantastic tournament comes to conclusion. Do tell us about the details, how it was, participated, and the level of competition that we saw during this tournament.
Yeah, as you know, this championship is an annual feature, and this is our flagship match now here in Islamabad at the Magla Greens Golf Club, which is administered by Pakistan Navy. And this is one tournament, one match where amateurs from Pakistan, all over Pakistan, top class amateurs, they look forward to. And this time we really had a lot of preparations so that we can bag in the best of the best to our golf club. And though we raised, in fact, lower down the handicap limits, yet there were 100 top of the line amateur golfers participating in our tournaments. And besides that, like you told our audience, the seniors were there and the ladies were there, the juniors were there. We had a big invitational match. Altogether, 300 number for an amateur tournament is a big number in 3 days. And then again, our club, which is not very old, not very old, as compared to so many big courses in Pakistan. This was prepared very nicely, seriously. And then all the golfers who came and played, they really enjoyed it, and we had a real good supreme class talent showcased this time. And this was the first time in our golf club the amateurs played under par. Under par means you play a game which is well below what is required to be played. So that is quite satisfactory for us in the golfing community. And the final of this match, the final day, the leader flight, that was so dramatic that there was a student versus his mentor, and they played together in the same flight, and they were both playing under par, and there was a lot of gallery, and the spirit of the game was at its highest.
the apprentice becoming the master.
The mentor kind of appreciating
His
the young
apprentice,
one,
yes.
and the young one trying to catch up, and at the end, experience wins, and this is how Mr. Ahmed Zafar Ayad captured the trophy.
Certainly.
For the 17th CNS
Certainly,
Amateur.
and speaking of Sir Zafar, he's joined us as well. So, of course, we're very honored to be joined by the winner of the 17th CNS Amateur Golf Championship, Sir Ahmed Zafar Hayat. Sir, Assalamu Alaikum. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Right now, being the champion of this tournament, but all in all, sir, put it in a nutshell, how much you enjoyed, how was the competitive side of it as well?
I think first of all, starting from the course was outstanding. The committee and the entire team, the administration did a lovely job. As far as the golfing side is concerned, it was very competitive. Like Samaj said, there's so many amateurs, good amateurs, seniors playing, especially in the amateurs category. All the young kids who are playing have a lot of talent, and it is very, very vital for everybody to be up on the game if they would need to win. Yesterday, Itza and I were in the leaders flight. He's a student of mine, but a very good friend also. So we had a very competitive environment where we played golf in. Every shot mattered. At the end, I was lucky. It was my day, so I won, and I'm very happy for it. And taking no credit away from Itza. Itza played brilliant golf, and unfortunately, he made a few errors which gave me the edge. And I hope he learns from his mistakes.
Well, certainly, sir. I think at this moment, although you're being a bit modest, but I'm sure that once it came to the competition, you were as fierce as ever, and that's why we're calling you the champion at this moment. But I must say, sir, it must feel great to taste victory at the end.
Oh, it's always good to win, and especially at the age where I am. Any victory comes my way, I will grab it. And there are very few that I win. So competitively, I will not give anybody a chance to take it away from me. They have to play out of the shoes. They have to apply themselves in order to win from me. The rivalry is there, but being a student, I encouraged him also while we were playing. But eventually, it's a competition. It was a very healthy competition. And of course, with my experience, I think that was the difference between his and my winning.
Certainly, sir. Sir, please stay with us online. We're just going to move towards a short break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back. Well, there you have it, the beauties of the Magla Greens Golf Club, and of course we talk about the 17th CNS Cup as well. But Sir Majid, I must ask you, for a club secretary, there must be sleepless nights going into this tournament, but maintaining this beautiful facility itself as well, as you rightly mentioned that it's not very old. So obviously there's a lot of work that's going in, and like I said, the secretary is always the man of action in any golf course for that matter.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Golf courses are very difficult to maintain, and it takes quite a toll. It takes a lot of expenses. But before I tell you about the golf courses, I must thank Pakistan Navy for supporting and helping this Margla Greens Golf Club as always, because it's not a very straight surface. It is undulated, it is all little hilly, and it is right there under the foothills. The terrain is not easy, but you know, it's unless and until you don't have good manpower, good machinery, you know, some amount in your kitty, you're unable to maintain such golf courses. So to prepare a golf course for such a big championship, you require quite a bit of preparations. And as always, we have an SOP, we have some timelines, we did that, and I think the weather also remained very good for us, though the daylight was less. Yet, I think we were able to bring this golf course to the supreme conditions so that, you know, top amateur golfers of a country can come and showcase their talent, and which we saw. And there was some brilliant golfing we saw this time.
So, what's the biggest challenge that this particular course has presented to you as a secretary? I might say it is kind of a weird question, might be, but then again, every course has its own challenges. So, this one specifically, where do you think has been the biggest challenge that you and your team have taken head on in this course?
Yeah, actually, any golf course, it's the surface, the fairways and the greens. I would say the greens were challenging because, you know, in this part of the world, you've got all 4 seasons, so the turf behaves in different manner. So it's not easy to maintain these greens. So we were able to go to the grass roots and then give them nourishment so that, you know, we have good greens. We did it. It took us about a year or so, and we were able to prepare these beautiful greens, which were true once they were being used by the golfers. And similarly, the fairways, where you have rocky areas, we need to always maintain them, look after the grass. So it is all about the surface in the first place. And then, of course, you know, the hazards and all those different places which really affect the game of golf were really taken care of. But of course, there's a procedure, there's an SOP which need to be followed, and I think we were able to do some justification.
Certainly, sir. Sir Zafar, how would you you know, rate this golf course, as well as Sir Majid also mentioned it's not very old, and you know, as a golfer with experience, once you compare it with many other courses around Pakistan, especially in the vicinity of Islamabad and Rawalpindi, how would you rate this course? What are some of the challenges that a young golfer who wants to play there must be, you know, seeing, and then deciding that, you know, these are some of the challenges I might come across on this particular course?
I think every course has its character. And Margla Green is very scenic for one. And the difference between Margla Greens and others is the terrain. You have to be physically fit, you have to be mentally fit, and you have to be mentally present there at all times, because there's no easy way out at Margla Greens. I've played all over Pakistan. There are different courses, they behave differently, but here you have to navigate everything. There are undulations, the greens are tough to read, they're tough to putt, but you know, hats off to Sir Majid and his team, that they have done a brilliant job in keeping it to the standard where top-notch tournaments like the 17th Naval Championship can be held. So nothing taken away from this course. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's always good to play there. And like you said, all the juniors need to understand, if you're not physically and mentally prepared to play on Margla, you will never succeed. So you have to be present physically and mentally there to succeed.
Well, certainly, sir. I understand, you know, competitive side of sport is always important to keep it alive, but also I think youth engagement plays a very pivotal role. Now, your rivalry and, you know, yours and Irtaza's competition has given us both such avenues where there's camaraderie and then there's the sense of competition as well. But how important is youth engagement, especially when we talk about golf in Pakistan?
You know, youth is always youth. Like I earlier said somewhere, you know, golf has, earlier we used to say, you know, it's an old men's game. but it's no more an old man game. It's a young generation's game where power and capability matches each other. If you look at the Asian side of the junior circuit, there are 14, 15-year-old kids who are playing under par. And in Pakistan also, we have players like Irtaza, we have Saad Habib, we have Shamir, we have Abdullah in Lahore and in Karachi also. The thing is this is the time to pick these kids up and teach them how golf is played, mentally, physically, emotionally. So you have to be involved in it, and that only comes with the coaching as well as hard work is concerned. Nothing is achieved if you don't work hard. So the mental aspect of the youngsters is they're a little hard-headed, hot-headed, but you need to know and understand how to control your emotions while you're playing, because it reflects your game in all manners. So I think as far as the youth is concerned, we are very blessed to have top-notch juniors like Irtaza and Saad Habib and all. We just need to cherish them and help them to grow mentally, physically, emotionally in the game, as far as coaching is concerned, as far as playing tournaments abroad is concerned, because the more they play competitive golf, the more they're going to learn, and that's the way they're going to control themselves and will be able to win. If they don't compete in the highest level of tournaments, then there's no sense of playing golf. So it's competitive also, but it is also on the other side very, very, you have to be right up there.
Yes, certainly. Sir Majid, finally I must ask you, this tournament is one such success story that we talk about. Youth engagement is a very pivotal role of keeping any sports alive. So is it for golf as well. Like Sir Zafar also mentioned, and we might say not, it's not a retirement game anymore. It's become very, very competitive on the youth side. But I must ask you, Sir Majid, that apart from that, the perspective of the viewer is also very important. We were having a candid discussion before as well, that the way we present our golf to our viewers and to our audience is also something that we must work on collectively to improve the game in our part of the world.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. What I've seen is, what I've experienced is that infrastructure. If you're able to give your sportsmen, or in this connection, the golf, you're able to give them good golf courses, I'm sure there'll be a number of players who will not only bring themselves to the national level, but all the international level also. I must also appreciate the Pakistan Golf Federation over here, who have been always very forthcoming in really taking care of the youth golf in Pakistan, both men and women. And we have number of young players, girls, they are being sponsored by the federations, the services, Army, Navy and the Air Force and so many others. And now it's for the last few years, a lot of young golfers are taking part in international matches. Like the champion Ahmed Zafar Hayat said, he was very modest in saying, but he's the one who really takes care of so many young golfers in his capacity, and he makes them learn how to manage themselves on the golf courses. Like he was talking about the emotions, the young guns are always emotional, and like he said very rightly, you have to keep your emotions to yourself. So these are the kind of things we are looking for to bring up these young golfers to play well for Pakistan.
Certainly. So what should be the future strategy now to promote golf in Pakistan? The future strategy is very important. So how do we deal with this?
I think in golf, the more you play, the more you practice, the more you play with better players, with more scientific, technological advancements, you will become a good players. Golf is all over the world now. Like I said, it's the game of young golfers. Why? Because they are fit, they are young, they can hit long, they are aggressive. So golf is all about aggression. Golf is all about perfection. Golf is all about not being emotional. So many things. So we have to give our younger generations all these aspects of golf to take them far beyond what we're looking for.
Well, certainly, sir. Once again, I would like to congratulate you, Sir Majid, the entire team of the Magla Greens Golf Club, and also I think to everybody that was involved in this stellar tournament that came to a spectacular conclusion. Sir, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sir Zafar, as well for joining us. And once again, sir, congratulations on being the champion. Right. We now go towards a short break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back. Right, welcome back to Sports Extra, and now of course we're going to be talking on cricket, particularly Pakistan's tour to Australia.
In the 105th ODI encounters between Pakistan and Australia, Australia holds a clear edge, having triumphed 70 times compared to Pakistan's 34 victories, with one match ending in a tie. In a thrilling match at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, Australia edged past Pakistan by 2 wickets in the first ODI, chasing a modest target of 204 runs set by the green shirts. The Australians had to battle hard against the Pakistani bowling attack to take a lead in the 3-match ODI series. Pakistan struggled at the start of their innings against a formidable Australian bowling lineup, managing to score only 203 runs before bowled out in the 47th over. Rizwan was the standout performer for Pakistan, bowling 44 runs of 71 balls, which included 2 fours and a 6. The focus now shifts to the Adelaide Oval for the second ODI on Friday, November 8th. This match is pivotal for Pakistan as they aim to rebound for their loss in the first game. With the series at stake, both teams will be eager to demonstrate their capability.
There you have it. Malaika gives us a bit of history between Pakistan and Australia. Australia have the dominant hand, of course, and this, I think, One Day International, all the details were in this report as well. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, in studios, we've been joined by a cricket expert, Sabir Hussain. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Sabir?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm good, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. Also joining us in studios, wearing the Australian colours, is Malik Usman Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum assalam, I'm doing well.
Pretty Australian you are today, I must say. So I think that sets a good precedent in the studios. And also joining us is fellow anchor and sports expert Syed Mohammad Awais. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Walaikum assalam, how are you?
I'm very well, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm a big fan of your work, sir. So thank you very much for joining us as well. Usman, let's start the discussion. I think we'll talk about this One Day International, although the results have not been in our favour. But I think after a long while, we must say that Pakistan gave a good fight. It was really an exciting start to the series.
See how things have changed so drastically that a good fight is also appreciated and celebrated as a victory. I think it was a game once again where Pakistan had their chances. Okay, 203 was not a winning score or a fighting score, but Pakistan gave a good run for the money to the Australians, and we expect Pakistani bowlers to fire on Australian pitches. They have been historically doing really well on Australian pitches, and this was no different, although the score was very, very mediocre. And Pakistanis, as I am told, the camp is slightly disheartened and slightly pumped up as well. Disheartened because they thought that this game could have been won at 1 or 2 stages. Once they were 6 down, the Australians, Pakistan thought that they had the game in their cusp. And once Australia lost their 8 wickets and 19-20 runs were required in a low scoring game, you back the bowling side, but that just did not happen. But Pakistanis, I'm told that their dressing room is more pumped up and they are expecting better results in Adelaide and the series going forward. Let's hope Pakistan just don't give a fight or have that attacking captaincy, but that strategy and analysis and all the hard work converts into a series or a match win at least.
Certainly. Sabir, Rizwan's captaincy, this was the first moment we saw him leading the side, and there was a lot of camaraderie that was seen. There was a lot of excitement, especially in the commentary box. Wasim Akram finally was enjoying his cricket. Callum Ferguson was over the moon. But obviously positives and some negatives in this game as well, but all in all a good game of cricket. And I'm sure that this was something that was unexpected for Pakistan to start a series on this note as well.
Look, I mean, first of all, it was a great game of cricket. I mean, both the fans were happy from Australian point of view, and also from Pakistan point of view as well. Pakistan, I think, should have batted properly because there were some, there were some chances in the match. I mean, when Pakistan were basically batting first, the couple of partnerships could have been, better for Pakistan, especially when Rizwan was, batting. Rizwan basically needs to understand, his role of captaincy, because we have seen lots of time in Asia Cup as well, and recent T20 World Cup as well, in ODIs World Cup as well. A couple of years ago against New Zealand, when we were chasing him in, target of 180. At crucial moments, basically, Rizwan loses his wicket. So this time he is the captain, so he basically he needs to take the responsibility. And on the other hand, Babar Azam, basically he was in a good nick. Abdullah Shafiq and basically Saim Ayub, again a horrible start as far as the openers were concerned, because we have been talking a lot as far as both players are concerned. I mean, but bowling was phenomenal. I mean, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Naseem Shah and Haris Rauf as well. The second spell of Haris Rauf was phenomenal, I would say. The Australian commentators, including Wasim Akram from Pakistan, I mean, all were very happy. I mean, it was a good game. But for Pakistan, from Pakistan point of view, Pakistan basically needs to bat well, because they should have played 50 overs. I mean, 50 overs, 20-15 runs could have been the difference in the match. I mean, Pat Cummins, again the hero from Australia. I mean, he basically has done this such kind of performance so many times before in the past.
Well, certainly, I must say, I mean, you can't rate him as a tail ender anymore.
Yeah.
Pat Cummins has time and time again, given us this perspective that he's been in this situation more than once, and he's certainly equipped to, bat through as well. And that is certainly a skill that Australia enjoy very well. But Saeed Mohammad Awais, Naseem Shah's injury was one question. Irfan Niazi's inclusion into the side almost became poetic, that stunning catch and then that effort that could have been 50 runs different than what would have happened. He was batting well, unfortunate, got run out. Haris was looking in rhythm, Shaheen, Babar was back in form. So everything just turned, miraculously well for Pakistan, apart from the results, whatever happened.
Ahmed, the one thing, if we just talk about the things which happened, I mean, if you talk about Haris Rauf, Naseem Shah, even Irfan Niazi, the spikes were just getting stuck in the ground. That means your players were actually not ready for that climatization, because the wickets over there, the ground are more harder than Pakistan. So obviously you need to get climatized over there. You need your feet. They need to know how to use spikes in that kind of condition. I know they have played international, obviously they know better than me, but that was the situation over there. Unfortunately, we had no practice matches, so obviously that happens. But one thing was good about the Pakistan team was that Rizwan's captaincy looked a little bit aggressive for me, I would say. I know there were flaws in the batting, but the mindset which was used to especially get Maxwell out. If you remember the field changes going on, even last I remember when Pat Cummins was batting, when Stark was batting on, there was some conversations going on. He was talking consistently to the players. So that's what you need, the energy in the Pakistan team. And the way Pakistan team played in this test match, in the one-day match, Pakistan team looked in a different color. What your Pakistan team wants, everyone wants to look the Pakistan team. Like I told you in the previous program, the biggest thing before the cricket, if you just talk about the cricket thing, you can just look at the commentators in the first innings when Pakistan was batting on. Wasim Akram tune was something else. But when it came to the second innings, Wasim Akram was all over. He was talking a lot. He was just more happy, I would say. He looked a little
smiling
bit
for once.
Smiling for one thing. But the biggest issue for me is your batting order. See, your batsmen really need to come into the party. Unfortunately, if you talk about Saim Ayub, like even Sana mentioned on, like he just played one ODI match for Pakistan. Obviously, he needs time, but the thing is that he's got so many consistent chances with Abdullah Shafiq.
Well, because you mentioned that, Awais, I think because that Saim element is becoming very tricky for Pakistan, and I agree that he's played one ODI, but there's been a lot of build-up to this slump in form, or not enough performances for Pakistan on the international stage. Let's take a look at this report on Saim Ayub.
Saim Ayub's cricketing journey has been one of rapid evolution, from a cautious 18-year-old debutant in the 2021 PSL to one of Pakistan's most exciting young talent. He started his PSL career with the Quetta Gladiators, where he struggled to make a mark as an opener. However, after a year-long break from recognized T20 cricket, Ayub returned with a bang in the 2022 National T20 Cup and showcasing a more aggressive approach with a strike rate well above his peers. This transformation earned him a spot in the Bangladesh Premier League and a second chance in the Pakistan Super League with Peshawar Zalmi. Ayub seized the opportunity, finishing among the highest run scorers in both the 2023 and 2024 PSL seasons with impressive strike rates. His domestic success soon translated into international recognition. Ayub made his T20 international debut for Pakistan in March 2023 against Afghanistan and his Test debut against Australia in January 2024. In his 6 Test matches so far, he has scored 323 runs. He has represented Pakistan in 23 T20 internationals, scoring 309 runs, and made his one-day international debut during the ongoing 3-match series against Australia. In the first one-day international against Australia, he scored just 1 run.
Well, there you have it, not a debut that many would have dreamed of, and that too in Australia. But Usman, certainly, I think opening has been a big question mark for Pakistan, but eventually right now we're in a conundrum.
Yeah, in the last episode when I appeared, I stated that in Australia, usually you see the new ball doing the talk, and it is difficult for openers to get going in Australia, no matter what kind of pitches, apart from probably Sydney, especially for the Asians. And that is what we saw in the Melbourne cricket ground as well. Pakistani openers did not fire, and even Australian openers did not fire. Australian pitchers are such that once the ball gets slightly older, it does come onto the bat and scoring becomes a bit easier. And we saw that how the middle order of both the teams did really well. Saim Ayub, and we just saw the report as well, some players are probably not so ready for international cricket, and I'm afraid Saim Ayub, it seems to me he's one of those. He's not ready for international cricket. That is what I think. It's not that he's out of form. When he's dropped, he goes to the domestic, he scores double hundreds, 50s for fun, but once he comes back to the national side for international cricket, he just does not fire. I think he's not so ready. He's technically not so correct to face the world-class bowlers day in, day out, and that is what he's facing. And he does not have much experience in playing in Australia as well. He played 1 test match in the test series we had a couple of months ago, and then coming and facing the likes of Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins at their best at Melbourne, where even our best batters don't do well. You don't expect Saim Ayub to set the stage on fire.
Absolutely. I think it's a bit tricky now, Sabir. Obviously, international cricket is something that you need to get used to and acclimatize very soon. Modern day cricket won't give you an opportunity that you wanted, you know, a huge number of games to settle in. But, you know, Saim has been under the radar. We've seen him playing all 3 formats now for Pakistan. Obviously, one-day debut, I understand, but he's played a decent amount of T20 cricket, a decent amount of first-class cricket, a decent amount of Test cricket as well.
Absolutely, you know, indeed. I mean, there are lots of chances given to Saim Ayub in all 3 formats, I would say, because. But I mean, what happened to Imam-ul-Haq and Fakhar Zaman? Again, a big question mark as far as the selection committee is concerned. If you're looking ahead the Champions Trophy, you know, ODI, T27, World Cup in South Africa as well, you need to have a settled pair. I mean, if you talk about Imam and Fakhar, I mean, they had, you know, 1100, I think 50 partnerships, I mean 700 partnerships, I mean after Saeed Anwar and Amir Suhail, you know, they had a phenomenal record. I mean, as far as the averages are concerned, 43 is the average, by the way, the Fakhar and Imam. So highest run getter Fakhar Zaman. So there has been a technical issue as far as, you know, Fakhar Zaman's techniques are concerned, but Imam-ul-Haq has been okay, I would say, because both of them have been performing really well, especially in the ODIs as well. But again, you basically removed both of them, and you basically, you know, I don't know on which basis Saim Ayub has been selected as far as ODI is concerned. Yes, you have given a chance in T20s. T20s are fine because of PSL performance, but in Test matches and also in ODIs, I totally agree with, you know, Usman, that he's not ready as far as international cricket is concerned, because you need to have some performance. Like Kamran Ghulam is a wonderful induction. Yes, it was a first match, but I'm quite hopeful that, you know, the kind of techniques he's having, he could be successful in the remaining matches in Australia.
Absolutely. Awais, like I said, that, you know, there was also a prospect where we could limit him just for T20 cricket. But then again, you know, once we're obsessed with someone as a cricketing nation, we're obsessed with him until, you know, we send him completely home and then forget about him.
See, Ahmed, there are 2 things. If you talk about Abdullah Shafiq opening up with Fakhar Zaman, and you just look at the strike rates and you can look at the average, when I'm talking about that both pairs, it's different for Abdullah Shafiq. I know he hasn't consistently performed well, but still that looks different. But when he's batting with Saim Ayub, like I told you, if you just watch out his last innings of 15 or 16 innings, they haven't even touched 20-25 runs partnership. So that's what shows the pressure what contains on them, because one end, when you're an opener, when you're going as an opener, right hand, left hand combination, what your team setting is that you play as an aggressive cricketer, I would rotate the strike. That's what a combination does. But over here, the problem is that both of them, it looks like they're confused. I mean, Saim Ayub does not want to play what naturally Saim Ayub plays. I mean, in the T20, he goes for that strike. If you just watch out even the ball which he got out on Stark, I mean, look at his bat position and the
Absolutely.
pad position.
There's a huge
lot of
gap
gap.
between bat and pad.
There was a lot because
Yes.
in Australia you want the ball come closer to your body and then you play like what Babar
Absolutely.
Azam had done. Look at Babar Azam bat swing. It's totally different what his bat swing was little previously in months you go on. So that's what you do over here. That's the biggest concern what Saim Ayub has been done.
Absolutely. Well, I think that really puts the perspective in front of us. Thank you very much, Sayyid Mohammad Sabir Hussain and Malik Usman Ahmed for joining us. On that note, let's take a look at this report surrounding something that has been a talk of the town for Pakistan cricket.
Fakhar Zaman was absent from the Pakistan's cricket team's White Ball series against Australia and Zimbabwe in the 2024 due to a knee injury. Zaman is expected to be named in the squad for the South Africa series and added back to the central contract list. He is also expected to be a valuable asset for the team in the ICC Champions Trophy, which is scheduled to take place in Pakistan early next year. Zaman criticized the decision to drop former captain Babar Azam from the Test squad. Fakhar Zaman has hit 391 fours and 74 sixes in his ODI career.
Well, there you have it, all the highlights you need to know about Fakhar Zaman. And joining us in studios now is cricket commentator, international broadcaster, presenter, and our sports expert, Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, how are you, sir?
Walaikum assalam, I'm perfect. Thank
Right,
you.
this absence right now, this talk of the town, all the show cause notice and everything, you're aware of that, we've discussed it already. But what's the impact on the Pakistan team? I keep on telling myself and asking myself this question, that it's become such a big hype right now. I mean, the world of cricket moves on. Cricket moved on after so many great players, you know, said goodbye to the world of cricket. But this is one case where Pakistan cricket just becomes stuck now, and we don't start thinking that how big would the impact be? You know, will this give opportunity to new players? What's your analysis of this situation?
Well, I think first of all, the only one person is responsible for the entire scenario, and that is Fakhar Zaman himself, because he has tweeted he is in the contract with the Pakistan Cricket Board, so you cannot breach the contract. And once you have done, now face the music, you're in hot water, and the rest of the players, they're enjoying their cricket. You're talking about the impact, I don't think so. You know that I'm a huge critic of Fakhar Zaman, because I don't think so. The people, they talk about that he's an impact player. Yeah, he's an impact player, but after 10-20 games. So I cannot praise these kind of players, especially when we talk about that the Pakistan require the player who plays with the consistency. So I think Fakhar Zaman is in hot water just because of himself, and that's it. And
Well,
Pakistan
Asif, it's
Cricket
become a
Board,
new rhetoric now. It's become a new rhetoric that you say something and then immediately you say that no, I'm parting ways with my media manager or my media management company. And you know, his brother immediately said that he's parted ways with it. So this is something that we don't understand. How can you not be responsible for something that is being said on your behalf by the
Yes.
company which you are in contract with?
yeah, simply you take the responsibility, tell Pakistan Cricket Board, yes, I was wrong. That was a wrong act from my Twitter's handler, and I take the responsibility and go for an unconditional apology. I think that's the only way. And I'm telling you that Rizwan, he has spoken to the chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board regarding this, and I'm quite sure in the South Africa series, till the South Africa series, you'll see that Fakhar Zaman will be inside, because he went to the cricket board and he said, sorry, unconditional apology. I was not aware that Babar Azam will not respond.
But according to my reports, he didn't apologize. According to my reports, he just said that this was his own personal point of view, but I won't go to that discussion. My most important question to you would be, does this set a precedent now in Pakistan cricket?
Well,
does this become an example that if you're part of the Pakistan
Cricket
Cricket
Board? First of all,
Board,
my question is, what kind of example you're looking for? What kind of example? See, we have these examples in the past. Abdur Razak have taken the name. What happened with him? He has given a statement, and simply he said that, asked to the skipper that why I was not in the playing 11, and Pakistan Cricket Board said thank you very much, and he was out of the side. And who was the coach? Waqar Yunus and Mohammad Hafiz was the skipper. So we have several examples. Shoaib Akhtar, a big example. What happened in the South Africa, that he had a trouble with Asif, he had a fight with Asif, and what happened? He was not in the playing 11. So Pakistan Cricket Board is taking a good action, but I think that if you have taken a stand for your skipper, for your ex-skipper, why he's not speaking something? That's a question mark. Why Babar Azam is silent?
well, he, I think, chose the right decision. So sometimes I think that was...
He has learned, he has learned the lesson. He has learned the lesson.
although that he didn't say anything, but he said a lot of things. So I think silence says a lot as well. But that being said, we've got something very special to say. 118 test matches, more than 9,000 runs in test cricket. Then of course you move on to a stellar one-day international record, a T20 international record. One of the best of the game, let's be honest. He's in a rough patch. But a very, very happy birthday to Virat Kohli. Asif, would you like to wish him a very happy birthday?
Well, you're saying Virat Kohli, I would definitely say King Kohli, because I have said in my vlog as well that Virat Kohli is genuinely a match winner player. And of course, when we have read his story, the way he started his career, he was playing a Ranji Trophy game and his father passed away. He didn't go for the to home directly. He went to the stadium, played a game and saved a game for his team, and then now everyone knew him as a King Kohli.
Certainly. I do believe that as well. And once again, I think from our platform of Sports Extra, very happy birthday to Mr. Virat Kohli. More than 13,000 runs in one-day international cricket. Stellar performances all around, and especially, like Asif mentioned, one of the greatest of the game that we are witnessing in this modern era as well. That wraps up Sports Extra. For me and my entire team, it's goodbye for now.